Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we are looking at another unboxing. This is going to be part 7 of my multi-part unboxing with Poikilo knives. Yeah, we're looking at the Salvatore, so let's look at this. Alright, today we're looking at the Salvatore. Here is the typical box that you get. Normally they have patches when you get like a production version. These, as just a review, were all, so if you haven't seen parts 1 through 6, these are a total of 15 knives that Poikilo Knives directly loaned to the channel for me to check out, to do an unboxing, to do a review on, and kind of compare them all, right? So that's kind of what I want to do here. This is my last unboxing before I start, wrapping up the reviews and my other videos. So today we're looking at the Salvatore, one of the ones that I really like a lot. Now this is a Midtech, okay? So if you're not familiar with Midtech, they have different lines. They have just the basic ones. I have a Gecko and a Taro, which are not Midtech. Now Midtech is a little nicer because it has the Zircuti. This, right here you see the Zircuti backspacer, which reminds me of Chad Nichols' Bacon Damascus, right? And then you have the Zircuti right here as well, and that's pretty cool. Also, what makes this one special, it is the high polished DLC on this blade. You got a little satin finish right there, which is really cool. So you've got like 3-4 different edges with the swedge. Very, very, very cool, right? Very nice. Nice and rounded, a lot of touches on here. Definitely a lot of room for big old hands, for sure, yeah. So let's see here, we got good engagement on lock. There is a lock bar, steel bar over travel stop. It is M398 blade steel, but covered in a high polish DLC blade coating. So if we clean this off, it's going to look really pretty. So let's do that so you guys can see that, because these knives were the knives that they Poikilo took to Blade Show. Recently, they were at Blade Show Texas, and they're going to be Blade Show Atlanta. So you'll probably see these knives there as well. I believe the handle is DLC coated. I'm pretty sure that's the case. And this is a high polish DLC, and that's what makes this a little extra special along with the Zircuti. Love the clip. It is a right hand tip only. Very industrious, very angled, very sharp looking, but ironically very comfortable. There's no sharp edges around here. They took care of even down here where it's pretty rough. But not sharp. Not sharp anywhere, so which is really, really nice. Now this happens to be not intentionally a front flipper, but here, let me see. I was doing it earlier. Let's see if I can do it. Okay. All right. You can front flip it. It's not the easiest to do. Once you get used to it, you kind of figure it out. Thumb studs on this one, they're much more comfortable than some of the other thumb studs. Like the Mini Tuna has some of the most uncomfortable thumb studs I have ever felt for big old meaty fingers. Now you got smaller fingers, easy for you to get into. They're going to be a lot more comfortable. No questions asked. But these are a little bit better. They're still not the most comfortable. They're definitely more rounded and more tapered, which is really important. They are unique looking. I think that's pretty cool. But for big old meaty fingers, after a while, you can see my skin started getting a callus and ripped right there. That was because of the tuna, the Mini Tuna. It was just ripping up my hand. I just had to take a break from any thumb stud knife because of that. And yeah, it was unfortunate, but some people love that. I, on the other hand, I like to have something that's a little comfortable to get my finger on and to use over and over. The other issue that I have, these thumb studs are so close to the scale. This reminds me of the tactile knife company, the Rockwall. I love that knife. I think it's a great knife, but the thumb studs are just so close to the scale. And every time, I bought 3 of them, and I had to sell them all. I would get in there, and it would just hurt my finger after a while. Just hurt. Everyone's like, oh, it's so easy. Yeah, if you got small fingers, but I got big old giant, flipper fingers, I guess. I don't know. It's crazy, man. It's just not comfortable for me, okay? It's just not. I want it to be comfortable. I mean, this is way better. And it's one of those where I'm like on the fence. Can I live with this? Can I not? Because there's the Komodo and then there's the Salvatore. Those are my 2 Midtech versions that I really like. I mean, I already have a Taro. I wouldn't mind a Taro Midtech, to be frank, right? That's kind of cool. But I already have a Taro, so I mean, I don't need a second Taro. But I love this. It's really great. By the way, great blade to handle ratio utilized. This reminds me a lot of a Shirogorov, because they go all the way to the very, very edge like that. Uldanov Knives does that, and some of my other Midtech custom makers do that. Very tight tolerances, extremely beautiful. No blade play, no detent lash, and a nice detent click. Ready? See it one more time. See, okay, let's do this facing the camera. Here you go. I mean, at least getting close to the mic. Ready? There we go. Not bad, I don't think. I think it's pretty decent. I like it. Again, thumb stud's not terrible. If this was my only thumb stud experience, this could have been doable. It could have been absolutely doable. Just my thumb studs are really tender right now because of those other thumb studs. So these are definitely better. I would love for them just to consider. You know, it's their knife, their design. I mean, and sometimes you pick a design because that's how it works. But this is a primary thumb stud deployment thing, and so stuff like that does limit me. It does limit my ability to use the knife, my ability to enjoy the knife. But I still, as I've said with every Poikilo knife I've handled, and this is not me trying to blow sunshine up your nose. I'm not getting anything from Poikilo. They're not giving me any of these knives. I'm not getting paid to do this. I know I'm doing this because they're graciously allowing me to check them out, right? So, which is super, super cool for the channel because I love the new Poikilo knives. I bought 2 of them well before I ever had a chance to even get the chance to check these out. But I love every one of their designs. As far as aesthetics, quality, material, build, exceptional. It's just really, really great. Now, ergonomics for my hands aren't always a good fit. And this one is not the perfect fit. The Taro really is nice. The Gecko is really nice. I really like those 2 a lot. The Komodo, it's really close as well. It's just, you know, I just like the thumb studs to be just a little bit more comfortable and not be so tight there. And if you're gonna do that, maybe just have a little better cutout. Like they're already doing this kind of a cool little thing. It'd be cool if you did, you know, make it do a triangle, just give a little extra space there, maybe a channel to where I'm supposed to go to deploy it. You could still get that beautiful linear, sharp industrial edges going by doing that. So I'm just, hey, if I'm not finding something about a knife and things that could make it better, then I don't think I would be doing my job, because then I'll just buy whatever and not care. But I care. I love knives, and I love to see them improve. And I know these guys, talking to them, I was talking to Andy, and they're very much into making this better and better, which I think is stinking awesome. I think it's absolutely freaking awesome. So, yeah, the fact that they would let me check them out, give my honest review, and then talk to me about what I think about certain things, I love that. And you have to, whether you've never heard of these guys, let me just make it really clear. You will maybe yell at me, maybe upset at me, and that's perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. But I will tell you that the quality, the best Riot, the best tech you can get out there, these guys are better. They're better. Right now, they're better. Does it mean someone could get better than that? Even Reich, they're even better than Reich, especially all the stuff Reich's doing for Microtech and stuff. I don't know if they're still doing that, but they were. They're better. They're just that phenomenal. They're good. They're just really, really good. And so when they say Midtech, it's even better. This beautiful high polished DLC, Zerkitai, is just gorgeous. Yeah, just really beautiful. Now this is a very satin look, but it matches because, you know, the zirconium in there is very dark, so it matches the DLC, and it's a nice touch. You don't want to have a super high polish Zerkitai here where it outshines the rest of the knife, so to speak, because you already have this beautiful DLC coated blade, and a blade that really works well. I love this blade. I mean, it's just some of the best polished stuff that I've seen out there. I love that. Now, yeah, stuff on there because, again, these knives were, I brought them on the live streams before I did my unboxing. A live stream, but will be live streams eventually. I'm going to be doing reviews on these, right? So I think they're amazing. I simply think these guys are amazing. I'm very impressed with them. I'm really looking forward to all the other designs that are coming out. They have some crazy designs out there. I mean, just some crazy, like, I want to check out the Orca. I think I'd like it. It's just kind of so outside my aesthetic that it's a high risk purchase, right? It doesn't, even the Taro was kind of outside my aesthetic, and I stretch it. This I love. I can dig that. I mean, this is the two-tone, two-edge blade. I never dig that, but this works. I'm telling you, this works. It's weird, but it works. It works. I don't know what to say, but it does work. So yeah, there we go, right? So let's talk a little bit about the knife overall. All right, caged ceramic ball bearings, they are very similar to Skiffs, but they're not quite Skiffs. I definitely recommend putting Skiffs in there. I did on the other 2 knives. Simply stunning. I mean, do you need to put Skiffs in? No, you don't. And they work fantastic without. The action's beautiful. It's a little stiff. I would probably tune that detent lock bar just a slight bit, just so I can get that controlled action shut. I think would be really nice. Left-handed, see, the thing about it too is because it's so tight, it's kind of hard. I've yet to, I can do the reverse flick if I hold it up high, kind of like I'm holding it left-handed, but I got to get in there. Hold on. This is a little challenging on this one. See, it's just, and that to me is a bummer, right? It's because of the axis. It's kind of hard to get to. And I don't want to, if it's that hard, I don't want to cut myself because you're going to slip and trip and it's going to cut you. I don't want to do that. That's a bummer. But I love this design. I love this knife. I just wish a little more axis and this thing would be, it's so get one. Anyways, very cool knife. We've got DLC blade, M398 blade steel. We've got beautiful black, I guess Cerakoted, or maybe that's DLC also for thumb stud. We've got the Zerkatide backspacer, and you can see the Zerkatide backspacer in there, right? And then there's some good weight relief on the scales. Really, really nice job of weight relief. Let's see, where's the center of the blade? It's right there, so it's very balanced right there. But you can choke up. So if you want to kind of choke up, I have large hands with big meaty fingers. It's about equivalent to an extra large hand with normal size fingers, a double extra large hand with thin fingers. So, you know, plenty of room here. Definitely plenty of room. The jimping, let me see. It works. It's not glove lock in, but it definitely for your thumb, if you don't have super thick calluses, you can push and you can lock in. If you have super thick calluses, this might be not helpful. There's jimping on the back over here, very similar, exactly the same. In this case, because some of the other knives had like really aggressive jimping here and not there, which is kind of a bummer, right? But this one has pretty consistent jimping. I love it's a captive pivot. This is, I believe, a T15, if I remember correctly, and these are T8s or T10s or T9s. No, I think they're T8s. Maybe T10s. Anyways, I don't take these knives apart. These are not my knives. I do not disassemble them. I don't handle knives that way. I love the edge. It does have a second little tip, so technically this would be a tanto, maybe a clip point tanto. So are we clip drop tanto? What do we even call that? Modified something, right? Yeah, it's a cool blade. It definitely is a cool blade. If you dig this, you don't mind a tight thumb stud, and that's okay. Like if you like the Osborne and you have no issues with the thumb stud, I actually love the Osborne. I had to change the thumb studs on the Osborne, and it became fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But I changed the thumb studs because I also customized it, right? I swapped out the scales. This is different, right? They're not going to have custom scales for this. You're going to get what you're going to get. All right, so let's zoom in a little bit and take a look at this. The beautiful DLC coated blade. You can see the polish on there. I think that's really good. You have the two edges right there, two different grinds on the edge, and you have a big, beautiful swedge. Swedges are nice. They allow you to turn into a cut, right? They're like I'd like to liken it to when you're cutting, it's like an oar. Or rudder, excuse me, like in a rudder. It allows you to turn left, right? So if you can turn this way, it turns you right. If you can turn this way, it turns you left. And there's less material resisting as you turn, so that's why it's helpful. DLC coated scale. You have a captive pivot on this side. I don't know if this is DLC coated pivot collar. I suspect it is. We've got Zerkatide backspacer, which that beautiful linear design. It reminds me of Chad Nichols Damascus steel. This is bacon pattern. I mean, it's different colors, right? That's steel. This is titanium. I get it, but having that block version of it, I think it's kind of cool. I've never seen it before, so I think it's neat. Then you've got the Zerkatide clip, which is more traditional, what you expect. You see the darks, the blacks for the zirconium in there. I think it's cool. You do have the cutout and lock bar facing here, but it's not sharp. I can put my fingers on there. It's not really sharp. Sometimes they're crazy sharp. Everything here is good. There is a slight sharp little spot right there. So I don't know if that's because this is the sample knife, production knife, or what. But that's the first time I've ever felt a little sharp edge there on a Poikilo knife. So this one's kind of the exception. That backspacer goes all the way down here. Got the thumb studs up here. The thumb studs are relatively out of the way, but they're still in the way. I mean, it's just a reality, right? They're just going to be in the way no matter what. Here's a clip. You can see that. It's a, there is a inset sort of cutaway or whatever for the clip. My brain can't think. Anyways, so it goes into the liner lock, inset into the liner lock, and it's locked in there. I like the clip. It does have a round coming in, round coming out. It's not super steep. It's actually kind of rounded, which means it's going to be easy in and out of pocket. I think that's good. All right, so let's look at the centering on this guy. It is, hold on. That looks pretty dead center. I mean, you figure this has been handled thousands of times, so it's impressive. Let's see here. Let's look at the lock bar engagement. We are probably a good, I want to say 20%. Definitely no blade rock, so that's really cool. I love that. And I can just only imagine that this is going to break in better and better, right? It's going to just keep breaking in better and better. I think that's cool. All right, let's do a little thumbnail image for the video. I'm going to obviously clean up the blade a little bit here. So the thumbnail looks nice and shiny and pretty, because we want to highlight this knife. This knife is it's a beautiful design, and I think it's worth noting, right? So there you go. Very, very cool. The Poikilo knives, Salvatore. A great unboxing. Another banger. It's a bigger knife, so if you like bigger knives, you definitely have room to choke up. That's going to be really, really nice. I love the quality and the build of all of this. And I'm sure in some of the bigger knives, they're eventually going to come out with one I just cannot refuse. But in this case, this is one that, it's just here for review. I don't know. The Komodo or this are really the two that I'm pulled toward. I think I might lean toward the Komodo. So I don't know. They have some really cool knives. Really cool knives. Definitely worth checking out parts 1 through 6, since this is part 7. Then I'm going to get into the reviews, and I'm going to group some of the knives together when I review this, just so you know, just because it's a lot of content. All right. What else? So we talked about the blade, the cage, the bearing, the dropped action. Everything's really good. This is a first impression. It's not a review, but just kind of give you my first experiences. I like it. It's easier to handle the more I know this knife. It's easier to deal with, and I love the fact that they're willing to own all this manufacturing, post processing to make it a Midtech. I think it's just kind of cool. I think that's very exceptional and very, very cool. All this other stuff, typically you'd have to mod it or something, or you really need a custom shop or something, a Midtech shop. It's nice. It's nice. All right. Hey, if you have any questions, let's real quick here. Let's bring out the little card for the Rob's Nerdy Knives, all right? Also, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, or entertaining, would you please consider hitting that like button down below? And if you've already hit the like button down below, would you please consider hitting the subscribe button? Yeah, being a subscriber really, really helps me out. It allows me to... helps the channel. Subscribing and liking, but it helps the channel, allows me to produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you to everyone out there who does watch the videos, who likes the videos, who subscribes to the channel. I appreciate you guys so very much. I really do. Thank you. Also, if you haven't already, there is a link down here below as well for notifications for future videos like this and other videos. So maybe consider that. Just thought. All right, and a big shout out to my channel members. You guys are amazing. You guys allow me to, you do two things, right? Once you encourage me like a workout buddy. Some days I don't feel like going, and you guys keep me going, and I appreciate that. I really do. It's always nice to have someone there who gets you excited back about the stuff you're already excited about. You just need to be reminded, because sometimes being a YouTuber, you'd be surprised. You don't interact with a lot of people unless you do a lot of co-shared live streams. That's more rare than it is normal. So anyways, I really appreciate you channel members, the encouragement that you give the channel, me, and everything. So I just want to say thank you. The other thing that you do is also you're very generous with your support of being a member. I thank you for that, because it does allow me to do things way sooner than I ever thought I could. It allows me to check out knives, to be able to cover shipping, and even to do the weekly giveaway. So I really appreciate you guys out there. Thank you. Sincerely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I do. I'm blown away by it. All right, so there's two things that I like to do for you to say thank you back. I do a once a week members exclusive giveaway. So I try to get something between $100 and $300, right? Something better than the budget banger, to allow you, hopefully something cool you'd want to win or give away. So I do that for the budget for the channel members once a month. The other thing I do is I also love to send you a channel sticker and a little thank you note. If you're a brand new channel member, you've never asked for a channel sticker, never asked for or received a channel sticker, would you email me with your name and address? I'd love to mail you a channel sticker. Now that actually applies to members who were members and then became members again. You never asked for a channel sticker. You're actively currently a member. Or two, you've been a member all along and you're actively currently a member, but you just never asked for a channel sticker, but you thought, hey, maybe I want a channel sticker. Yes, please email me with your name and address. I would love to mail that to you, just so you know. All right, I really do very much appreciate you guys. Appreciate your support, appreciate your encouragement and all these different things. So thank you. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, check me out on Instagram at Robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at Robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.